sitting back and no script, I should say, unscripted right here when it comes to sports media. I'm your host, Tony Jigsaw Cutillo. This is the Tony Cutillo Show, the first edition of the one-on-one series, man, the interview series. My man, JP, man. I don't want to, I always say Zapata. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh, I got it right, man.
John Zapata. That's right.
I love it.
It was always awesome going to a doctor's office and they'd be like, is there a John Zapata around? And it's like, right here.
Yeah. Well, that's what people say to me. And you'll notice they always think my last name is Spanish. And they say Cutillo. And I'm always
Cutillo.
like, why do you say Cutillo? Like, I'm like, it's Illo. And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, so it's either Cutillo or Cutillo. Like, but then some people say Cutillo. And I'm like, all right, I'm not a stickler for grammar. But where do you get the other I? Because I don't say like Ilio, like Ilio's Pizza. You know what I mean? Oh man, but listen, man, I appreciate you coming,
dude,
brother.
Thank you for having me here, man. I was just like, dude, this man cave is one of the best man caves I've literally been in. I'm literally sitting right next to Sister Jean, so nothing can go wrong today.
No, you're getting blessed. You are blessed by Sister Jean. Look, we got a little Tupac.
Dude, this is
right here.
Awesome, bro.
That's my son got this for me for Christmas because he knows I am a huge Tupac fan.
Tupac's a man.
And he's like, I got to get my dad the top pop. I'm like, all right, man, it'll be on display all the time. So all these things have meaning. This is this bobblehead's from one of my good friends. He Harry Whitey.
Yeah,
right.
Dude.
I got this for Christmas from my family. Then my dad got me the replica Super Bowl ring.
Gotta have that, dude.
Oh man, you got and then my goddaughter got me that jigsaw basketball right up there.
Oh, I didn't
airbrush
see
jigsaw basketball. So
dude,
that's one of my yeah. And then how can you? We're behind greatness, bro.
Yeah, literally. I'm taking notes, by the way. My wife and my father-in-law helped fix my office.
Okay.
As hopefully, knock on wood, we get back to doing some of this type of stuff. So
hell yeah, man.
I got a nice little shelf. I got my little Eagles helmet on there. I got a nice little veterans plaque, like veteran stadium plaque. Like
yes,
stuff.
Philly, stuff, man. Philly pride.
Dude. Right, man.
Like B-Dog. B-Dog. But man, it's funny, man, because I think listen, I've been knowing you since probably like I'm gonna say like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, when I got back into YouTube, yeah.
When you're all union.
Yeah, dude. I was all so kind of a little background on me. I started really like in 2014. I was doing it just for fun, like on the side. I was really doing mostly Eagles and Sixers.
Okay.
Then this is when I was living in North Jersey for my job. So I moved back in like 2015. And then for like the next year and a half, I was just being like a 21, 22-year-old, just, J-O-ing around. I don't know if we can curse on here.
Invincible, baby.
Yeah, like I was just going out every night, just like hooking up with girls and stuff. And so I was not living a good life. And then I found my now wife, and she really like led me into like the path. And I realized I want to get back into sports media. And that's when I found soccer. And at that time, it was very different because the MLS really caught me back, and I saw the growth it was having, and I wanted to get back into it. And more so soccer in general, like even world soccer was growing at the time. So I really wanted to get back into it. But, me being a Philadelphian, like a proud Philadelphian, I always wanted the union to be involved within the conversation with the 4 for 4. So
you did.
So that was my moniker. Those like 4 or 5 years, I was really, really big stickler of implementing the union within Philly Sports Talk. And my whole thing was, if I can sit here, recap every game, break down every breaking news, every little tidbit with all 5 teams, and we can at least there's some, pay a little attention to the Philadelphia Union. So that was my whole thing back then.
That's why I got into you, man, because I was a soccer coach.
That's right.
And we would go down there. The guy's name, I forget his name, Alex Carrington was his name.
Wow, what a name.
He was my ticket guy. And he would always get me on the field with the kids. And I was like, this is such a great atmosphere down here. Like, I love, you had, obviously the Sons of Ben were unbelievable, right? I mean, just to find out they don't sit the entire game. It's like insane, but a lot of great action. And I was like, I don't know enough about it. So that's when I started following you, because you were the only dude talking union.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Like, no one really was. And that was the other thing too. Like, me coming back, I wanted Union fans to have something, because back then all you really had was written content. There was no one really bringing like creative visual content. So I started doing a lot of vlogs at that time. I think I would have like different people, whether there be on like who covered the Union, or if it was, Union's facing Atlanta, I got to hit up Atlanta United Fan TV. And so we really created like a community, not just within Philadelphia, but around the country. I was able to meet a lot of great people from different fan bases. And so it was just bringing more an interactive look into what being a Uni fan is, being down in Chester.
Well, it's funny, and this is the whole point of kind of unmasking everything, taking people behind the scenes of what you just said. Just as a guy who was doing vlogs and doing quick little hits on social media, the amount of work that you put in just to study the other team, to probably pronounce the names the right way, to understand the background sometimes. Like people just think you pick a microphone up and you just talk. Because I listen, I'm old. I'm 47, bro. But like the older generation, they're always all they do is talk in their mom's basement. Like I still got people on TikTok like, you in your mom's basement, bro. I don't live in my mom's basement, dog. Okay, like
kind of wish I did. Yeah. the way how expensive everything is right now, I kind of want to get back there.
Well, that is true. It is crazy economy right now, right? But it's like there is more to it than just talking into the microphone.
Dude, you're so spot on, because like when I first started, I was literally like, dude, I always everyone around me, I would just annoy my friends, my girlfriend at the time, my mom, my dad. They were just like, shut up.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? Well, all right, fine. Then I know it was always one of my dreams too, was to get into sports radio, but I don't have a college degree. And I really was never really engulfed into that environment, but I loved sports. Like I had a deep passion for sports. So when I first started, I realized this isn't just like talking into a microphone. I need to know exactly what I'm talking about. And that took time. I think the best way to kind of illustrate it, Tone, is COVID. So COVID happens, right? Me and my then girlfriend, we are forced out of Philadelphia. We lived in the city.
Okay.
We moved to Glassboro, New Jersey with my brother-in-law. And so throughout COVID, so like 9 months, I'm stuck in this house. So this was my daily routine. I'm waking up and we're figuring out what TikToks we're to make. So I was literally writing down concepts of TikToks, looking at trends, things that were just in my mind, things that are happening with these teams. So I was writing these down and planning out the TikTok concepts at night. So you take a little break, work out, eat some dinner, and then at night, got to watch the game. Whoever's on, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Union, the Eagles, whoever was on, got to watch it. Watch it all the way through, do the post-game show, edit it. Boom, I'm probably going to bed around midnight. And that was like my routine for like 2 years. And then once we got into COVID, like things changed a little bit. I got a full-time job at that point. And so I was really straining myself, working this full-time job for a credit card company on top of the fact, doing the same things, making those TikToks, also doing those recaps as well. So it was like a 5-year cycle of figuring out what content I need to make. And it was just a lot of gauging the fan base, gauging what's going on with the team. Like a lot of people don't realize like it's more than just what we're seeing on these TVs. The fans are really what bring these sports alive. And so you need to be tapped into that as well.
Now let me ask you this, and I'm going to guess, I'm pretty sure, but you're probably spending, what would you say, when you were doing all that, by like 7-8 hours a day on, even with your breaks, research, actually probably more, right? Watching the game, then doing the and you were probably getting zero monetization out of it at that time.
I think my first sponsored deal came in 22. Okay. I got a deal with a watch company, La Terrain Watch. I still remember.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was my first sponsored deal that I had. Eventually, we did some like spot stuff. We did like spot commercials for the U.S. Open. Was doing a really big push in their marketing at one point, and I was able to do some stuff for them. I think I did some for a restaurant as well, but not much monetization, not much at all. So it's funny, not to get to what we're about to talk about with getting my first job. I was at a point a year before that where I'm like, you know what? My whole mindset was like, if I don't make money, if I don't make full-time money by the time I'm 30, I'll just do something else. And literally 29th birthday, I get my first job. But like, I had a lot of thoughts in my mind, like, I don't know how much longer I can do this, man. Like, this is a lot of work. I'm getting older, wife wants to travel, we were thinking about family, marriage, and all that type of stuff. So it is a lot, for a lot of people who are doing this full time. I have friends who are still doing this full time, and they're like, dude, I don't know what to do, man. Like, I'm putting so much effort into this, but I'm not making money. And like, I don't know if I can really make this a full-time gig. It's really hard, dude.
It's extremely hard. And I say this to everybody out there, whether you're a grade schooler, it's funny. I have a really good connection with the Delaware Blue Coats.
And do you remember
that? Joe, listen, Coach Joe Richmond is the man, absolute man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Alex Yo, two fantastic people. let me host podcasts for 2 years and kind of on hiatus right now. It's not off the take. Just Coach Joe is a very busy man. That's all I could say. That dude just does everything down there. But I remember, they have the connection with Rowan. So they always have the pizza with the pros, and they always have somebody there. So they would always make me their guest. Like I had an open invite. So I went and saw Jason Stark, Stephen A. Smith. So I will say this, that the biggest thing that dawned on me with Stephen A. Smith was somebody in the audience asked him, when should I start? When should I start, really getting into this, like creating a YouTube page or something like that? And he goes, what year are you in? And he goes, I'm a sophomore. He's like, do you have one yet? He goes, no. He's like, yeah, too late. Do something else. And I was like, oh, damn. Right. And he's like, look, I'm dead serious. He's like, you know what? You need to start in like grade school right now. And you need to start building because of what you said. Because it's like, if you start at, say, you're 30 years old, you're not go. If you start with nothing, nobody's going to pay you a dime.
Yeah, dude.
Right. So it's like, you're going to put 5, 6, 7 years of work in, and who can do that for no money?
Dude, you're so spot on too, man. And the thing is that like, yeah, the money's big and like it can really dwell in your mind, but getting good at this takes a long time. Like if you go back to some of my first videos,
man,
it's funny. Too. The Union just sold Kai Wagner to Birmingham City FC over in the championship. And like he gets sold, and the first thing that pops in my mind, like he was the first signing I covered as someone who covered the Union back then. 2018, the Union signed Kai Wagner. It was my first video that I made. And now he's being sold like 7 years later. And it's just like such a realization. But if you watch some of my early videos, they were not good. They were not good at all. It takes hours to get comfortable with this mic in front of you. It takes hours to get comfortable with that camera in front of you. And articulating shows, knowing exactly what you're talking about, knowing what it is you are talking about as well. It takes a lot of time. I think really I started getting in front of a camera and a mic when I was like maybe like a junior in high school.
Okay.
There's like some videos in my old laptop where I was talking and I looked so timid. I was so shy. I was so scared. Nobody was going to watch. I don't know why I was so shy and timid. But
I know. We don't think of that though.
But you got to get comfortable with it. And that's the only way you do it is the more you get in front of it. That's why like 2019, 2020, 2021, dude, I had a lot of time on my hands. So I was just doing video after video after video and I got super comfortable with it.
Crazy,
it is, man.
I tell people that, and because a lot of like my friends will be like, oh man, oh yeah, you must make all kinds of money. I start laughing. I'm like, are you serious? Like you got, but that's the thing. I don't think anybody has any idea, and I'm not here to say that it's all about the money. What you did, you just kind of you really eloquently put it a really good way by saying you have to get good.
Yeah.
Right. And the only way you get good is by practicing and practicing and practicing. And nowadays, the equipment that they have is so much better than I know when I started, when you started, but you still have to know how to work the equipment. You still got to afford the friggin' equipment. Right. I mean, there's a lot of things to do in that, man. So
much behind it.
Oh my God.
Marketing is a big part of it.
Huge.
How to work social media is a big part of it as well. There's so much that people don't really think about that goes into this that you really need to hone down, man.
It's a full-time. I mean, listen, what you just said, and I'll tell everybody this. I mean, you talked about COVID. So at COVID, for me personally, that's the only reason why I got a shot at Sirius, because at that time, they took everybody out of the offices in New York, and they decided, even when COVID was over, that only they were going to bring the producers back. That's it. Not a lot of their shows and the hosts, especially on Sirius, on the Fantasy Sports Channel, that's all remote. I mean, you watch them, God, they're from their house.
Yeah, dude.
So that gave me an opportunity. But again, if I wasn't polished, like you said, right? If we would never get those opportunities.
Never.
We would be on it, So listen, lesson is just start. Don't worry about being perfect. I just said this to JP before we went live. It was like, I always worried about being perfect. Don't worry about being perfect. Just pick up the microphone like you're on like Al Albert Showcase, bro, and just talk. Okay. Yeah. This ain't Star Search anymore. Just get on there and just open up, man. And I think that's the most important lesson.
My philosophy always is I don't believe in mistakes. I think that a mistake is really an opportunity to learn. So like to your point, like just go out and do it. if you suck the first couple times, like that is completely normal. But what you do in those, you watch that.
Yes.
And you learn from it. So like back in like when I first started, we didn't have StreamYard. We didn't have like these live streaming apps that you have now.
Nope.
So what I was doing at that time, I had a GoPro. GoPro was recording me. And I think eventually down the line, I got a mic, but like it was usually, I was literally using the GoPro's mic.
Wow.
And so I was recording, then I would edit on iMovie. And that's really was huge for me because I'm editing, but I'm also listening, and I'm listening to what I'm doing. I'm critiquing myself at the same time. That was so huge. Like these apps are great because like now, like you record this, done, it's on YouTube, right?
Yes.
If you wanna put it on a Spotify or whatever, easy.
Yep.
But back in those days, like it really, like that process really helped me out. And to your point, Tone, about like monetization, it's something that I'm so intrigued to trying to figure out. Because the way I look at it, Tone, is that sports right now are at an all-time popularity. You think about sports books have been increasing over the past couple of years, but you even look at pop culture. There are so many girlies out there because of Taylor and because of Travis Kelce.
That's a great point.
They're into football right now. Like, you know me, Bad Bunny is one of my favorite artists.
Super Bowl.
Dude, there are so many Latinos right now who are excited for the Super Bowl and are going to be into football. So like, we have so much popularity for these sports. How do we get these people to actually invest some money into it? Because clearly they are hungry for it more than ever, dude. So how are we turning that interest into more money? And like these are things that are constantly going through my mind, man.
I had the same thought process, and what I came up with, and I used to tell people this all the time. Now, I run my own PR marketing company, so marketing is a huge part of this.
Yeah,
you know
dude,
that, right?
For sure.
So for me personally, the way I can attract good sponsors is saying, I'm just not like, I'm going to be your PR guy as well as your sponsor. Okay. That's like, we're going to do both. And it's like, oh, wow, nobody really does that. No, I'm going to that because I got to be able to sell myself a different way. Right. But what I used to say I say to kids, because I'm old, is stop selling all your shit for free. And they said, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm not saying it's got to be a money value, but the allure was always, yo, JP, come, I got this great platform for you. I got this great platform for you. We just want your content, bro. Like, well, we're going to blow you up. You're going to get on listen, we got 1 million followers and you're going to get this, dude. And you're going to get, you're going to get it all. Man, that shit don't happen. But that's why they don't pay nobody, because they're like, if you say no, and I say no, he's saying yes. She's saying yes. He's saying yes. They don't care. They don't care. They just use you and spit you out. Use you and spit you out. And then here's the unfiltered take, in my opinion. You're always told, don't burn bridges. I understand that. Don't burn bridges. However, my thing is, if that bridge, you were never allowed to cross that bridge anyway, why are you so worried about burning it for? Like at the end of the day, and I'm not saying I'm here, but it's like, I think we all are like, oh, we better be nice to him, because what if 5 years from now he goes to another radio station or another, and maybe he'll grab me, bro? You know what, man? Fuck that. Like I'm over that. Like no, I'm not doing that no more. But I think that's why people they don't want to invest, because they know somebody out there is going to give them something for nothing. That's why I think it's so important to build your own platform now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I feel like if someone were to come to me in like asking for advice, and people have actually come to me and asking for advice,
that's great,
getting into the industry and whatnot, I would always say, like, if there's an opportunity, like, if ESPN comes knocking on your door, like, how are you gonna say no to that?
Right.
But like, like, how can you say no to ESPN?
Exactly.
But I do think that you need to have your foundation set up. Like, I think the best example is Hunter Brody, and like Brody was one person who, during my journey, I would look up to, because like he was literally doing
Hunter.
Kind of the way I was doing it, and just, strictly using the internet and social media to kind of push himself out there.
Yep.
He still had like the essence of like, like those 2000s like radio vibes, but like the dude is around my age, right? So like he still has that. But like, he works for WIP, right? He's doing the hits. Like he's got like the, you know, was it Flyers and 60 or whatever? Like I think that's awesome.
Skate takes.
Yeah.
Takes.
But,
I love it, man.
But he still has his platform that he can kind of rely on.
Growth media.
You know, knock on wood, God forbid, like he gets laid off again, like he can rely on that. And so like I do think if you're gonna get into this industry, you need to build that platform. You need to build that foundation for yourself.
Yep.
And if a company like ESPN comes knock on your door, you know, look into it. Also know your worth too. That's something very important that a lot of people don't think about.
Great statement.
Know your worth. Don't just, you know, take a job because it's, you know, sports. It's like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yes.
But know your worth, know what you're getting yourself into, and making sure you have that foundation set up for yourself.
That's a huge, great point, man. And with Hunter, like you said, you know, I think, and this isn't saying he didn't, you know, I think he got the job for multiple reasons. Number one, he's damn good. But number two, even though WIP is up here, they still saw that dude gets a mass following. So that's why, if you notice, he's still doing his own shit, and that was unheard of. It's because they're smart.
Yeah.
And you know, good for him. He's smart because, like you said, at the end of the day, if they say adios, guess what, man? He's good. He's gonna have somebody knocking at his door, man.
It's funny because like it feels like now modern media is like starting to catch up, because like
yes,
there was a point like late 2010s, early 2020s where, you know, they see like a YouTuber or a TikToker and they're just like, but now they're like, okay, well, we need that digital monetization. So we need these guys. And so it is nice that a lot of these guys are getting that opportunity.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And you know, like with Hunter, it's like, here's a guy who interned at 97.3, right?
That's
he was
right.
Very intern. I followed him for years, man. And I was like,
Gill?
Oh, what's that?
Was it Mike Gill? Yeah.
And I was like, what is it, Bash at the Beach or right? But I was like, this dude is going to be good. Yeah. I'm like, I could tell he's going to. He was just, and people were like, oh, he's not. That's him. That's not his. He's not rehearsing.
Who in Philadelphia sports isn't theatrical after an Eagles game? Like, dude, like I was freaking yelling my TV at that wild card game. Like, come on now.
You know, people just love the hate.
Yeah,
that's all. They just love the hate, man. They love the hate. But I will say this. You know what really pissed me off is when the radio stations would start getting on YouTube. I'm like, yo, man, you assholes. You're coming in my space now. Oh, you're talking about who cares about you? Now all of a sudden you're on YouTube. Like, now you couldn't have enough. You stole everything out. Now you want to steal the YouTube stuff too. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that they're giving people those opportunities, man.
It's good to see.
Yeah. Speaking of JP Zapata, let them know where they find you, bro. I mean, it's going to be in the description, but you know, just you know, you're everywhere on Instagram, on Twitter, TikTok, you name it.
Yeah, dude. So like we're definitely like gearing up for 2026. I have some things in my mind. I want to get back into this, and I really took the last year to do two things: take care of my mentals, more importantly, and number two, just kind of look at what's been going on with sports and with sports media. So definitely I'm gearing up for 2026, where I make a little bit of a comeback. I have an idea where content is going in general, and I kind of want to do that as well. And I think that it would bring fulfillment to myself. But right now, you can find me on Instagram at El Parcero Philly, always El Parcero Philly, Twitter Parcero Philly as well. YouTube, also same thing, LEL Parcero Philly. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this year. You know, and I really want to say, like, I'm really thankful for people like you, Tony, because it really was a hard year. You know, depression was a real thing for me, and just trying to find myself again, find my confidence back, and having like good group of people around me was super important. And just getting like people coming up to me and like, yo, I miss, you know, hearing your sports takes and stuff like that. And like, you know, like there was times like, do people really miss me? Like, like you really actually think about me, man.
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
It's really dope to kind of hear, and it's enough for me to get hungry enough to come back.
I love it, man. You got to come back, bro. Dude. You got it now. Let's you know, you talked about getting your first job,
dude.
Right? And you're fine. I you know, I had to ask you about it because, like you said, I told you off air. I followed you, and I think I call you a kid because you're freaking 16 years younger than me, right? So so I always say when I see the kids get these opportunities, I'm like, hell yeah, like Ray Dunn. I'll give you an example. Like Ray Dunn, like I
so proud of him. Man.
Yeah, right. I love it. Like everyone's like, what are you so happy? I was like, it's cool, man. Like this dude worked his ass off. Like I like to see that.
Yeah.
So to bring everybody in, you know, when I followed JP and I finally, you know, he was like, you know, I got some news. I'm going to share yet. Got some news. And it was with PHLY.
Mhm.
In the beginning, you were doing the union show
Mhm.
with Renee, right?
That's right, man.
So that was your first opportunity. So was that your full-time gig, or was that, how did that all come about?
So the first day they started, actually a week before that, I get a DM from Renee.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, like, you have any availability next week? Would love to have you on a new show I'm part of for the union." And I'm like, "Yeah, for Renee, of course I'm available.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, do whatever Renee needs." And so like I started seeing stuff come out about PHLY, and I see Renee gets, she's part of it too. And I'm like, "Oh snap, Renee's part of this new project here in Philly, which is really cool."
Yep.
And I was really excited for PHLY in the beginning because
Me too.
It kind of felt like NBC Sports.
Yep.
But like more like what we were doing, like
credible people,
right?
Too.
Like, dude, like the people who are still there, like those are like grade A reporters and journalists and broadcasters. And I hop on that first union show, had a lot of fun. It was really, really dope experience. And so it was like the first day. So like literally corporates there, like everyone is in this office. So like really was able to make my mark. So after that, I'm like, yo, Renee, whatever they need, I'm down to be part of this. And so I eventually started off as part-time. Eventually I worked my way. And like the one thing this is another thing that everyone should take away too. Whatever you can do, however many hats you can wear, do it. Figure it out. Like if they ask you to produce a show, you don't really know how to do it, you figure out how to do it, right? Like if you don't know how to do something, figure out how to do it, but do not say no. And that was always my mentality. And also during those early days, like I really, really, really wanted PHLY to work. So
me too, by the way,
dude, like my mentality was like, it's not about me. I don't care if people know who JP is. I want people to know who PHLY is. And that was always my mentality. Eventually I get the opportunity to be full-time, and my stipulation was helping out the Flyers team. So I was essentially like the third or fourth in line in that show. It was always Bill Matz's. Shouts to Bill. Always, all those guys are freaking awesome. Charlie O'Connor, obviously probably the best Flyers beat reporter. And then you had Kelly Hinkle, who comes in every now and then. And so I was really part of that too, which was super intimidating in the beginning as well, because I've always liked hockey, but I didn't know like what they know. And like, I really do, like, I can't tell you how much I thank Bill and Charlie, because the kid who started at that show and the kid who ended at that show,
totally different.
Totally different.
That's awesome.
Totally different. And I feel like I can really hold my own when it comes to hockey talk. And that's really, really,
that's not easy to do, by the way.
Not easy to do at all. And I really, I give all the credit to Bill and Charlie, man. They really were patient with me, and it was really awesome. Eventually I was able to also do the Anthony Gargano show. Now I'm full time, man. Anthony Gargano show kicks off. I'm full time. Everyone's like super excited.
And that's huge. That's like, yo, because you're thinking, yo, I'm gonna call a show and produce, right? That's big time.
Co-host, co-producing that show, like the excitement. I remember still a week before we started, like setting up the show, I had a week off. I'm in Puerto Rico with my wife and her family. And we were at a rooftop bar in San Juan. And, I ordered like 4, glasses of champagne or sparkling.
Yeah, baby.
And like, they don't know what's about to happen. I tell them, and my father-in-law, who's a big Philly sports fan, is like, what? Like,
right.
What?
That's
like,
awesome.
Crazy.
How awesome is that?
And so like, it was all really cool experience. And then eventually down the line, I worked with Johnny Marks, and dude, like throughout this time, like I'm working with Cuz, I'm working with Johnny Marks, I'm working with Kyle Newback, Devon Givens, like, Jamie Lynch. Like I'm just like
awesome dudes in my opinion.
And like the thing is, like a lot of people don't realize is I was a kid when I first got my car. I was bumping Meek Mill and Rick Ross and all that. But once it was it 2:00? Once 2:00 hit, you shut up. We're putting on the Mike Missinelli show. We're putting on Anthony Gargano.
Yep.
I was always tapped into the radio.
Me too.
The radio always got me through some tough times in my early 20s too. So like being around these guys was just like a super like a surreal moment, to be honest with you. Like you just kind of, especially like in Philadelphia, like we always looked up to these radio
absolutely
hosts. Like they were always celebrities. And so it was really cool and a cool experience, going through that.
I remember, man. Like I told you, I was, I love when people make it. Yeah. Like, and people tell me it's like, I like when people succeed. Right. And that's kind of like my company's called Rise React Media. and my handle is Rise with Tony, it's not because I like when people ride. Like I do, I really do. And I would watch you walking into work. And you go in there, you see the brick walls of PHLY. You're sitting there with the car. I'm like, dude, this is awesome, man. This dude worked his ass off. He finally got there. He's there. And I was a big PHL. I was like, yo, it's an alternative. It's different, but it was real people.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, all right, love Renee, always, love the bro, like all that stuff. I was like, man, this is going to be good. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like when I heard, and I know you get I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
Yeah, all I will say, obviously, like can't get into
of course
full details. I don't want to get any, serving notices in my mail. Yeah, really. But it was one of the worst days of my life, honestly. The depression I felt, everyone's like, trying to, cheer me up and whatnot, and all I can do is just cry, dude, because I put everything I had on the line. I strained myself, lots of nights and not a lot of sleep, hours in front of a computer. And, it was kind of a surreal moment. And there was things that happened behind the scenes, which I obviously won't get to, but that's what kind of hurt the most.
Yep.
I felt like I got effed over. So that was
so let me ask you this. How long? So how long were you, how long would you say you were full time? Like when you were producing and you were co-hosting with the cause?
So that show started around like end of March, and I got laid off beginning of December. So like give or take like 6 months.
So during those 6 months, did you have, or 9 months, did you have any inkling of something maybe happening?
No.
Not to get it so that's on. So this is why I bring this up, because you usually don't. You're just thinking, man, cool. Like, I'm going into work every day. Nothing's there. And then bam, you get a phone call, right? And
that's just like how every every corporate job,
of course,
you get like this random Google Meets or Zoom, and it's like, what? It's like, it's Tuesday. We just met last year, like stuff like that.
Yep.
And then you just kind of have to go through it. But yeah, it's such a surreal moment, and you're at that point, you're just like, all right, well, what do I do now?
And that was you and Renee, right?
Yeah.
At the same time. And I'm like, I was honest with you. Like I felt it, when I saw you drop that, or I don't even think it was you. I think it came out, maybe it was like Cross and Broad or somebody posted it. And I think I was going live that night for like a YouTube show or something. And I kind of just lost it. I went off because I felt it. And I was like, I don't like when people get screwed over. And you didn't tell me anything. Nobody saw. I saw with my own eyes. I saw what I felt was, we got to bring in a big fish, and we're going to bring in this big fish, and we're going to get rid of the people that put their blood, sweat, and nothing against the big fish. Has nothing to do with that specific person. It's like, we're going to go this direction. That always pisses me off.
Yeah, man.
What about the people that helped you build it? Like, and again, it brings it back to the lessons, right? Like all the time that you put in and the hours and the energy. It's like, and then dude, that mental health stuff, bro, is so real. It's so, because you start to question everything. So the question, like, number one, was it worth it? Number two, what am I going to do now? Number three, like, is anybody, are they going to think less of me now? Because, here's this dude, after 9 months, he must suck, man. There must be, you got a lot of stuff going through your mind.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, obviously it's different now because, one thing we didn't have back then was AI is a real thing now.
Yes.
You kind of see what happens. It's Sports Illustrated absolutely got gutted. That people don't understand, like Sports Illustrated in its prime, dude, that was everything for us, man. Like even Sports Illustrated Kids, dude, like that was everything for us. So to see what happened in that magazine, like you see it everywhere. I see sports book media companies using AI for graphics, for clips and such, and it's a real world. It's real out there with AI. It's not even just sports media, it's tech, it's every industry is feeling that as well. So when that news happened, I obviously was in a down place, but like that creativity, electricity was kind of gone as well. And yeah, my plan last year was I got married in 24.
Congrats on that.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
25, like me and my wife were thinking about starting a family. and that happened. And now obviously that got
Oof.
pushed back a little bit.
Things happen for a reason, man.
Yeah, dude. That
Things
I
happen for a
do
reason.
I do believe in that. And I'll tell you what, one thing 2025 also gave me was peace, dude. Like the first half wasn't great mentally, but the second half was actually much better. I did do a course for software engineering, which
Oh, nice.
kicked my butt, dude. But I felt peace. Like I had my people around me. I didn't have anyone bringing me down. I didn't have anyone telling me what I can and cannot do. And I felt free. And so I feel much better now
That's
in
awesome,
January
man.
2026 than I did in January 2025.
I say, man, when people say you're married to the game,
Yeah.
you legitimately are. Whether
put it
you know
away.
you want to call it a game sports or you want to call it media, whatever you want to call it. Because listen, let's get one thing for whether you're a YouTube person, a podcast person, you're in sports media, because that's what it is now. It is digital media. You are in sports media, okay? So I'm not saying you're a journalist. I think that's totally different. Journalists and media people are different, in my opinion. Okay, but don't think anything less of yourself.
Right.
That's why it's I'm just a podcast. No, there is no just a podcast. Like, I hate when people say this dude's just a YouTuber. What does that mean? Because last time I checked, all the dudes on the radio are YouTube guys too.
Yeah.
Right. So stop putting yourself down, man. Like, just perfect your craft. And what you just said about learn it all. You know, I tell people this all the time. People hit me up and be like, hey, who does your content? I said, I do. Who does your reels? I do. Who does your producing? I do. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, because I learned how to do everything myself.
Yeah.
You think I knew? Hell no. I sat down here with a folding table and some bullshit USB microphone echoing like, wah, 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 wah. Like, it sounded horrible,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
And I look back, I'm like, wow. But I kept saying, I want to know how to, because I don't want to rely on people.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to be able, and then if I ever get an opportunity one day, I want to be able to be like, look, I can do this. So, short story, just like yours, you know, that's why when you go, and I'm going to tell the whole story one day about the way Sirius works. I don't think people understand the way Sirius works. I don't think they understand that. So basically, you had to pass the test to be able to be a solo host. Not everybody on Sirius is allowed to host. That's why they have partners. Some partners can only be number twos.
Yeah.
So when I went into it, I did a couple sound checks and I did a couple shows. And because I was able to do my own levels and I was able to run reads and do a show by myself, they were like, you can host.
Yeah.
But I would have never been able to do that, like you said, if I didn't spend time perfecting everything.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I, obviously did the same things you did, but when I got into the industry, learned how to produce, I realized I love producing, dude. It's because it's like, you know what it is? It feels like you're the point guard, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm setting up the host, I'm setting up their ads, I'm setting up graphics, I'm setting up video clips. And there's a part of that that is fun. I do like facilitating. Yeah, I feel comfortable in front of a camera, and I love doing that too. But producing was a lot of fun, and I realized.
See, I hate it, bro. I hate it. I want to lay back. I want to be like, "Yo, JP, what are we talking about?"
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Like, I mean, shout out to listen. One of my favorite producers was Noah. Noah was awesome, and Adam when I was at VSiN, and those guys would text me and they would hook me up, man. Like, they were the best, and I'm like, bro, you guys are great. Like, I don't want to do any of this, man. Like, so I shot. If you're producing, if you know how to work a board, good for you, because I certainly don't.
Dude, if you know how to work a board, there's a lot of companies right now who are looking for producers. I know with the way AI is going and all that, and technology is, but. Finding a producer, man, it's so hard. A good producer, it is so hard to find who wants to do it as well, man. So if you got
and lesson about that is, and you probably know this, or maybe you don't, but whether it's iHeart, whether it's WIP, whether it's Fanatic, so you're only going to make money, or I should say, you'll make more money as a host if you can run the board. Because that means they don't have to pay an engineer. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people will be like, oh, you just have your own show. They need to pay a producer. So if I were telling you a lesson, learn the board, because then you could go in anywhere and be like, I could do it all. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, that money we're paying a producer, now you're going to get that.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, and
That's
that's
key.
everyone right now is, I feel like they're learning how to do some of these stuff. I mean, all the podcasters now, the creators, they're learning how to do all this type of stuff as well, man.
Yeah, man. It's
I will say though too, like one thing about like content these days, it doesn't feel original.
no,
Like
I know,
everyone,
man.
and listen, when my come up, I was guilty of this as well. I was following the trends.
Yes.
I was definitely like leaning a lot into those trends because I saw the numbers I would get when I would lean into those trends. But like now, Tone, like I'll do the doom scroll, and I'm just like, bro, why are we
Why?
still filming like this? Like, come with me as we go to this coffee shop. Like the ASMR, like, bro, if I see ASMR, I'm scrolling. Like I am so tired of ASMR. Like we're doing like all these 2016 now is the trend. Why are we romanticizing 2016? Like
I don't get
that
that.
was not a fun year. 2015, like
Nah.
for kids my generation, they know 2015. Summer 2015 was a different level, but these trends are killing. It's killing content, dude. Like nobody wants to put original content out there anymore. That's what I'm looking for, and I just don't find anymore. We're just copying off of each other just for numbers.
I agree, and that's what it's turned into. It's just follow the trend, and it is a mind game because you can put out, in my opinion, like I'll put out something I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is great, valid point, and it gets nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, but this dude over here, I'm being real. This dude over here, he can't even put a couple sentences together. And all of a sudden now, this dude's got 1 million people following. I'm like, bro, is it because I'm old? Is it like, I don't know what the hell it is, but it is, dude, in your mind, it's like, you want to give up all the time. You just want to throw in the flag, man. It's tough.
I am intrigued by the younger sports fan. I have a buddy on TikTok. Shouts to Chaos Chris. He one day just made like a couple TikToks that just outrage over the Eagles, and he blew the F up. Like he got like, I think like 40,000 followers in one day from these videos, and he grew an audience just by overreacting over all these Philly sports things. And I love the kid to death. Like he's a great dude. I personally wouldn't do content like that all the time, but it worked for him. And the young fan base, like they love it. They love the overreaction, the overboard stuff. They love the bro stuff like that. I think that's why Barstool is doing so well. That's why I think Pat McAfee does so well. And those are like different things that I kind of looked into because look, we're trying to grow in sports media, but like the old school, like 2000s radio format does not work anymore.
I know.
You need to keep up with these trends. And I think one thing that a lot of the older heads are forgetting is that the fan base is getting younger. A lot of the older fans are still going on the radio. Unfortunately, it sucks, but we are losing a lot of our older fans. And so like you do need to keep in mind the young fans, what do they like? What ticks them off? What pushes them? So you do need to keep in mind that the fan base is getting younger.
It's a good point. Now you just mentioned about the radio. Yeah. So, maybe it's me, but I still feel like at times, like I know people say radio is dead. I don't feel radio is dead. And the biggest, I would say obstacle I've always had was I know myself. Most of my listeners are in the older ages. Like I have a lot of people between say 40 and 70. They go, Tone, where am I listening to you, bro? Like I can't turn a dial listening to you. And they don't say like, and they'll go, it's just easier for me to get in the car and hit 94.1.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's always been my struggle. Like how do you get, like I've even like, hey, look, man, you can get YouTube on your phone and put it on your TV, but when you get to the older generation, it's very hard for them to follow.
They just want to push that button.
Right. Man. That's all they want to do.
Listen, I don't know. I always was an on-demand person. I maybe just my age, but like I've always, when it comes to like even like the radio shows, I always would just listen to their podcast after they finish recording them. I'll put it on my phone and put it on the car. There's definitely some generational things that the older fans like more than what the younger fans do like, and I think what's happening right now with the radio is I think that they are evolving. Like you're seeing now the Fanatics doing like those social clips where they're in the office and guess who
this is?
player,
I like that.
I like
that shit.
That's a great idea.
It got me thinking too. Like, damn, who is that?
Sometimes I'm wondering, like, they're playing around, right? Yeah. Because it's like
it's so easy.
You should know who Raul Nato is. Like, who doesn't remember Raul Nato? The dude couldn't even barely playing point guard as the back of the bed. But no, like they all have to adjust now. And like even like something like as so integral to radio was the callers, right?
Yes.
When I did StreamYard, when I did like my own live podcast, I would just literally leave a link in the comment section. People would hop on, and that was people calling in and giving me their 2 cents.
People don't realize you could do that.
Yeah.
I tell people, and you just do it from your phone. You don't have to be on camera.
Yeah.
Like we're like, no, just click the link, bro. It's a call.
Yeah. I will say though, I've never done 4-hour shows because when we were at PHLY, we just did the hour shows. That is a freaking marathon, man. I couldn't even imagine doing it for 4 hours. What do you talk about for 4 hours? I mean, in this city, there's plenty to kind of talk about, but like, there's those dead months in the summer, dude. Like, what do you? February.
There's a lot, man. I would do the most I ever did was 3 hours. So, and that was 4 segments every hour, right?
Yeah.
But still, if you didn't have any callers and you were solo.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, I mean, you better have a nice run sheet ready to pivot here or there because it's tough, man.
Join us at the 10 o'clock hour. We're talking about my top 5 basketball.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's why I grew up I was a huge Big Daddy Graham guy because I worked shift work, man.
Yeah,
and Big Daddy Graham got me through it. Like I always had Big Daddy on. I worked the overnights. I'd work 6 to 6. And I listen to Big Daddy Graham all the time, man.
Dude, on my rides, when I lived in North Jersey that year, my rides back, I'd bump him and shouts to my Latinos, Ricky Ricardo, man.
Oh, Ricky. Oh, yeah, man.
He was awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome to listen to, man. And yeah, I just think that right now they're just pivoting. Everything seems the same, but they're pivoting. They're adjusting with the whole social media game. And obviously, not everyone's a fan of WIP these days, but some people do say good or bad publicity is publicity, and it's a good thing. And so if they are making social takes, that's the thing, is a lot of people don't recognize that what they're doing on air is so they can reproduce it to put it on social media so they can get that reaction out of you. And views, likes, comments, that's all money these days for a lot of these companies, man. That's golden.
Well, that's how they sell their product, man.
That's right. Because then they can go to these sponsors and be like, listen, look at what we got going on social media. Look at that traction.
Yeah. I listen, I know, man. It's you hate it, but it's a successful structure.
I think it's smart. That's because that's how I think, man.
Usually that's what happens when you hate something. It's because it's working. You know what I mean? Like, it's
especially during the Eagles season every Monday. Just go on WIP's like just mentions and whatnot, and you'll get a little chuckle.
Oh yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. Let me ask you about this topic before we play. Let's have some fun here, but gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a thing within the sports media.
Within the sports media. So, I was like, I just did it today.
Yeah, no. Within the sports media circle,
okay,
especially locally, you think there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on. So where it's like, look, man, I'm gonna hold my connections right. Like I don't want to bring him in because he may overshadow me and because I do feel like that. I feel like that's a big time thing. I do.
So personally, I've never experienced that. I will say I do think that there are egos, especially with some of the older heads in the industry.
Yeah.
But gatekeeping per se, I've never actually experienced that part of it. But I mean, look, one thing I did learn in this industry, and I love music. That's my other passion. Dude, your playlist, guys, you need those tone DJ sets right now. You know what I mean?
Yo, man, I love my music, man.
But love it. One thing I always looked into was just kind of how grimy the music industry can be. There's a lot of egos in that too. A lot of artists just get screwed over these contracts.
Yep.
I will say that I do think that there are certain people within the sports media industry who can be a little toxic like that as well. And that's just unfortunately, this is at the end of the day, this is entertainment, especially in a city like Philadelphia, where sports is it's our world, dude. It's what we breathe every morning. It's a bloodline for all of us. And so a lot of these personalities, they get, brought into a big limelight, dude. It's like, actors in New York, I feel like sometimes, you see some of these sports radio hosts walking through Philadelphia, they get a little bit of a crowd around.
Oh,
them.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. A lot of people know who they are. So I think definitely that can get to your mind.
Yeah, I think I've noticed. I mean, never with me, but I just noticed it with certain from stupid things like subtweeting or it's like, come on, man. Like this is like childish stuff.
Yeah, dude, we're all men. We're all grown.
Yeah,
adults.
it's like it's crazy to me. But so let me ask you this before we'll end with a little Phillies, because I saw a little Nick Sirianni talk from you this morning. I want to battle you about a little bit because I'm on the get rid of his ass kind of thing. So, but you just said you used to listen to Big Daddy Graham, Ricky Ricardo. So right now in the current model right now, who would you say in your opinions the best person for JP to listen to on a radio?
Wow,
if you were on a radio, who's the one guy you're listening to, or the one show, so to speak?
That's a really, really good question. I don't think that there's anyone that's captivating me. Like, I think for me personally, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate my response, but like Missinelli and Tyrone was my favorite duo. You say what you want. They were super knowledgeable, and I thought they really balanced each other very well. Right now, I don't feel anything like that. I am, selfishly and I guess biasly listening to a lot of Marks. Johnny was it's so funny. Johnny, before I worked with him, didn't have the best like perception of him.
Oh yeah,
because again, social media. But then you work in the industry, you kind of understand a little bit more. But working with John, he's the best, man. He is one of my favorite people to work with, and even to this day. So I love that he's doing his thing out with the Fanatic. They're giving him that freedom.
Yes.
They're giving him the support he deserves, and it's a good show. I mean, Ray, I've loved Ray ever since he was like kind of like an intern over there.
Yeah,
he's done some stuff for the union, which is really cool to see as well. I like that they're integrating Sean Brace, they're integrating Harry Mays, they're integrating
Martinez.
Dude.
I mean, it's great. It's great. Like you said, the free. I love it. I love it.
And it just feels like it's new and fresh, but they still are giving you nostalgia. And that's literally me, dude. Like I'm young, but dude, I'm a nerd for nostalgia. And so I think that what they're doing, and right now, the WIP, they shouldn't steer away from what they're doing because it's working.
It works.
Eagles, Phillies talk.
I hate it, but it works.
Eagles talk to death. We'll throw the Phillies in there and whoever else we want, kind of, and then we'll piss off the fan base. Like that works for them. That's great. But the Fanatic wants to bring like old school sports talk. Again, talking about those young fans. I don't know if they really like that, but this is something that someone can get behind this. I can get behind like old school Philly sports talk with a little bit of a fresh twist to it. So right now it's that Mark show, man. Mark's in the midday.
I'm kind of with you, man. I mean, I will say, I'll always say this, that I listen mainly on the weekends. I always was my boy Rob Ellis. I love Robbie.
Dude, Rob's a goat, man.
Yeah, you know what? The reason why I love Rob is there's no fabrication with Rob. Rob is, look, he's a Delco dude, right? And he don't hide it.
Yeah, dude.
And he's just real. Like he's real to me.
Yeah, but his voice was always soothing.
I know, it's crazy, man. Like
I could be on the beach listening to Rob.
I like Rob. So for me, but you said Missinelli, man. I grew up with Missinelli asking. So no matter you hate asking, you hate it didn't matter. I love the show. Like I was in, and I'm a Tyrone guy. I'm glad that he's with Carton right now. Yeah, I think he deserves. Listen, man. Okay, so the best show ever didn't work. I think there was a lot of reasons why it didn't work. I don't think it wasn't just about Tyrone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he's another guy. He worked at the 920 to Jersey.
Wow. He's a talking boy. I remember that.
Yes. And this is why I say I literally follow these people, and I watched him and just grind. And I was so cool. I was like, this guy, I didn't like the name. I was being honest, like, all right, but good for him. Get his own, and I'm glad he's back on the air because I think he deserves.
I'll tell you a good Tyrone story. I went to the Union playoff pep rally in 2022, I believe, or 21. First time I met Tyrone. He's there. You know, he gets invited there. I go up to my wife's like, "Oh, you know him. Go say something to him." I went up and I had a little conversation. I just like straight up was like, "Hey, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to get in the industry?" Dude had no problem of giving me advice, and he was so real and so sincere. And like those are the type of moments that you've had those type of moments. So like you take that away, and so
Oh yeah,
that's my perception of Tyrone. I know Tyrone on the air was a little brash at times, and like listen, it calls spade a spade, but he at the end of the day is a good dude.
Yep.
And those are the type of people that I will always, you know, go to bat for.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I never had like with the advice thing with certain guys, but I will tell you right now, like I look at people like one of them, and it's a female, and it's Devin Caney. So Devin is amazing people, and I'll never. I mean, I remember when she was she was not interning, but she was actually the PR person for the Wings.
That's right.
And I got tickets down there, and for the first time, and I wasn't sure of where I was supposed to. Something happened, and I had texted her, or I DM'd her. I didn't have her number. I DM'd her, right? And I was like, "Hey, I don't know, just taking a shot." Dude, she came down, right? She talked to me, right, as a normal person. Was like, yeah, do this, do that, and then ever since that, any show I've asked her to come on, she's come on.
Yeah.
She always responds. She helps me. Like, again, real. Like they don't. My point is, it's not to be like, yo, these people. They don't have to do that.
They don't.
They literally don't. They don't have to do that because some of them won't do that. They don't have to do that, and I respect them for doing that because they don't have to.
There might be some old TikToks of me and Devin back in like 20.
Oh, really?
2021. Yeah,
That's awesome, dude. She's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
dude. That was
another one. I'm glad to see her keep rising,
dude. She was another one that took advantage of social media a lot, dude.
Yeah.
And like that's another one too. Like my girl Haley, love Haley's Taylor, and so she does like the whole influencer thing too.
Yeah.
And it works for her, dude. And it's like figuring out what your niche is, figuring out what works for you is super important. Like Devin and Haley are found what worked well for them. It's cool, crazy kind of see where Devin has come from.
Oh, man.
You mentioned it, like she was like, I think she was like one of like the main reporters or broadcasters for the National Indoor Lacrosse League.
Yes.
Like, dude, she was like the voice for that league. And she worked her way up. She like that. Yeah, you mentioned intern as a Fanatic. I was so upset when they didn't give it to her. I texted her. I was like, girl, like they messed up.
Well, yeah, when she was doing the
she was like with Mikey Miss for a week.
Yes.
And I thought she did a great job.
Was that before they gave it to Jen Scordo?
Yeah.
Before they gave it to Jen Scordo.
Jen. Shouts to Jen. And I mean the Fanatic kind of dropped the ball now because look, she's the new Eskin. She's the new Howard Eskin over at WIP.
Oh, killing it on the sidelines. Good for her, man. I love it. I love it. I'm like, because she gets a lot of hate. And that bothers me. Like I and she handles it real. And this, I will say, is such a bad vibe to me. I get there's a lot of scumbags on so. And I have a 26-year-old daughter, so I get my curls up all the time.
For sure, dude.
There's the kind of shit that people say, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like there's no need for any of it. What makes you, feel like you can say what you say, And I say to myself, like, I can't imagine what it's like being a woman journalist right now.
Yeah.
Or you imagine the shit they get sent to them, and it's like, why does everything have to be like that?
Yeah.
Like it's a shame, man.
Well, you're a North Catholic boy, so your mama raised you right.
But man, Italian mom, bro, I'm good.
But no, it's so, and like, dude, I kind of saw it firsthand with Renee, man. It's dude, like I'll freaking take a bullet for Renee Washington.
She's awesome, man.
And like
she is awesome.
Some of the shit I used to see, like it would upset me to the point where I would get aggressive.
See?
And so like, yeah, dude, like you work with these females, like you're in the trenches with a lot of these females, man. They're putting in the same amount of work you are. And what is the main difference? That you're a male and she's a female? Like, come on now. And so like, when I see females grinding in this industry, I don't even care if you're covering the freaking Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna support your ass.
Yo, man, I'm with you, man. Yeah. I'm with you. And a lot of them, what I will say is it's more female than male that you see have to go outside their area just to get their first opportunities. And you're seeing it now. Like you look at Lindsay Mopert, who came back. She had to go to Buffalo. Alexa Ross had to go to Buffalo, who's Temple made, went to Indianapolis. She's still in Indy, right? Devin actually was in Idaho. Her first I was in Idaho. See, that's the thing. Like, people don't realize what they go through. Like, I'm not saying guys don't, but what I'm saying is, they go through different lengths. That's all I'm going to say. And it's just,
Dude,
it's,
you're talking to the biggest Kate Scott supporter there is in
I
Philadelphia.
love Kate Scott.
Dude, what was that the one game where I think she was sick or something like last minute, and they got to get who's McGinnis's son. They had to get McGinnis's son to do the game with Allah. You know me. I was like, I gotta go on Twitter. I go on Twitter. I was about to throw my freaking phone into the Delaware River. I'm not kidding you. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, people in the city act like Kate Scott has no right to be in that booth.
I don't understand.
She's put in the freaking where she's all mad for Christ's
I know.
like, we're acting like she's like some schlub that they picked up off the street. Like, she knows what she's doing. I'll agree. Like, I don't think Alan and Kate is a great partnership. I'll agree with that. But Kate is more than qualified.
More than qualified. 100%.
Like
100%, man. 100%. No, I agree. So, like I said, I'm always day one, and it's funny. Like, I'll go on Twitter, and like if somebody says something, I'm the same way. I get aggressive, right? So I'll get in the mentions and like go back and stuff, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're probably." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? like really? Like, dude, it's just a crazy world we live in, bro.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
a crazy world, dude. This is awesome, bro.
It's a lot of fun, man.
I like this. The laid back.
Yeah.
So let me get out of this. You dropped because you're a Philly sports guy, bro. Drop a little, I saw you walking with your headphones today. You said, I don't understand that the people that want to fire Nick Sirianni.
You know why I said that?
Yeah,
I listened to Marks in the day. Yeah. I heard a caller, and I was like, you know what? Really?
So it set you off, right? Well, guess what? It set me off because I'm the guy who says, I'm ready to move.
All right.
So I had this discussion in the barbershop today.
That's the best place to have.
Right. And I had a guy in there, very strong will, was like, Super Bowl this, winning record, playoffs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm going to say one name, Mike McCarthy. And everyone said, what do you mean? Oh, okay. Well, Mike McCarthy's got a ring. And then what do you ever do after that? Like, at the end of the day, man, my whole point of this is I think a lot of the arguments are hypocritical, because if you're willing to accept that he is a CEO coach, then, and this is a Missinelli term. Remember, you got one job to do with a kicker. Well, Sirianni, you got one job to do.
It really does.
Make everybody get along.
Yeah.
Make everybody get along. There was more dissension on this team this year than ever been. And it's not the first time. So if the one job that you have, you can't do, and you show multiple times you can't do it, why should I think that you're going to be able to fix something that for 18 weeks you couldn't figure out anyway? Why all of a sudden am I supposed to be like, nah, we're good? For me, I got to move on, man, because this is the second time. So that's why that's just my argument.
So what, Super Bowl wins don't matter anymore?
They matter. However, I think you can win in spite of your deficiencies.
Okay.
Doug Peterson.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we saw that. We saw that
He's
real quick
freaking
with Jacksonville, man. Nah, when it comes to Nick, I do agree with what you're saying. I'm upset with Nick too. This is, like you said, this is the second time this team has essentially collapsed. This isn't the 23 collapse.
No.
But did they look good and don't give me the Raiders game, but did they look good in any game? I had this conversation with my father-in-law today. Like, the only time I felt like they were actually prepared to go out and play a football game this year was the Bucs game. I thought that game plan was great. They implemented the pistol, like it was something.
Yeah.
Like, we run the pistol, but not like we ran it like 70% of the time in that game.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, like it
went away.
They forgot how to game plan again. And so, like, my whole thing is that Howie Roseman, again, showing us the Hall of Fame GM that he is. This team is super talented. This team got into the playoffs and won a division solely off of talent, right? And so, yeah, my whole thing is that going forward, Nick's leash is going to be cut shorter. And I'm with you. Like, I don't really know what Nick Sirianni actually is. It's like one of the biggest like microcosms that there is in sports, because this man has like, if you see his winning percentage, this dude is with like the Shulas of the world, the Walshes of the world, but
I know.
But this dude, like, 2 times in his 5 years he's been here, offense stalls. You're an offensive coordinator. You were an offensive
you.
coordinator, and he can't call an off. You can't call an offense. Like, that's crazy to me. But at the end of the day, I do hold Super Bowl wins very high. So the fact that he did win that Super Bowl last year, I thought that saved his butt this year. Because if he didn't have that Super Bowl win, I'd be right there with you. Get his ass out of here. My thing is, we need to get a legit offensive coordinator back in here. And the thing is like, honestly, do you hold Kellen Moore high? Like, did you think like he was like this like whiz kid of a coordinator?
I don't. I don't. And what's weird is, remember, he started out and it was like they look like shit.
Yeah. You know what it is with Kellen though? And that's why I'm not really too worried about the offense. Kellen Moore is good at organization and building a game plan. He's not gonna, he's no like Sean McVay when calling plays.
I love Sean McVay.
Yeah, I mean, we all
that's my guy, bro.
Yeah.
Man crush on Sean McVay right here. ain't gonna lie.
but you get my point. Like, Kellen Moore knew how to create structure with that offense. Yeah, it's a bad look when you're fighting with AJ Brown on the sideline. Maybe that affected his mood and why he looked like trash in that final drive. But like, Nick Sirianni's leash definitely has to get cut short. It's been proven now with Nick, with Howie, even heck with Chip Kelly, because even Chip Kelly had that 1 year, right, or 1.5 years.
I'm a Chip Kelly guy, by the way.
You're not a Chip Kelly guy,
not as a head coach.
Okay,
not as a head coach, but I think, say what you want, but the guy has proved to me that he is an offensive mind, above average offensive mind. The Raiders thing, and you saw it came out. What happened?
Man,
he wouldn't run because Pete Carroll didn't want him to run what he wanted to run, right? It was a mess. So, but everywhere he's been, like, his offense has worked. I just think he's got an ego, and he can't get out of his own way.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I guess when you think you're that good, so he probably needs to stay in college
and give him the GM position as well. Didn't really help.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. That was a night. I mean, we think about that, man. And listen, I'm not a shady guy. I'm not a LaShawn McCoy fan. However, to trade him for Kiko Alonso is crazy.
The one Colombian you bring to the Eagles is Kiko Alonso. Still drives me up, dude. You
remember that?
I still have visions of Kiko Alonso making a business decision at the goal line. Remember David Johnson came here with the Cardinals, and he has,
God, yeah,
looks like prime Emmitt Smith. Like,
David Johnson,
dude. David Johnson just was about to just blow over Kiko, and Kiko knew it too. And he's like, you know what?
I'm out.
You have that.
Wow,
bro, that pissed me off to no degree.
Kiko Alonso.
That defense was. You had Brian Maxwell in that defense. Oh.
Billy Davis,
yeah,
defensive coordinator.
You know what? And we kill him.
He was just a bad spot,
bro. Yeah, but like the thing is like the defense had like 2 seconds to rest, and then they're back out there.
But we have to remember that first game, the Redskins.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mike
the Commanders out, but
but wild.
Wow,
59 points, dude, in DC.
Wow,
it was crazy.
And everybody was like, Super Bowl. I was like, Super Bowl, and then you saw, I was like, these dudes, man, with the smoothie machines, and it couldn't stand.
You can't just run a no huddle offense all game, man. You need that. You need to create that pace, man.
And that's why we'll never have. I always say this. That was the one time where Jeffrey Lurie went outside his logic and said, "I'm going to go after the shiny toy no matter what." And he gave him all the power. And he said, and that's why I said he'll never, ever do it again.
As long as you got emotional intelligence, you can be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Emotional intelligence.
That's all it is. That's what Doug and Nick have. That's all they have. Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
The Roots, man. Remember the Roots? The Roots, Nick Sirianni in the first year.
The flower.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's a storyteller.
Yeah.
Right? He's like Socrates.
The bunny didn't work.
Oh my God.
The freaking inflatable bunny. Remember
that? The inflatable bunny. They tried everything.
Yeah. I mean, look.
I get it. They had to try, but
the thing is that like if you fire Nick after they won a division, they had a winning record, you lost by 4 points to the Niners in the wild card, which the Niners are a well-respected organization in the NFL. It's hard to fire a coach after that. But I agree with you. That seat, it has to be warm too. And
it's tough.
The thing is that like going into 24, that seat was warm. Like there was talks of Belichick. There was a Tim McManus article that did not look good on Nick's side.
I know.
And he got so lucky that team went on. Dude, they were so good.
They were so good.
And the thing,
so good.
It was crazy too, is I felt like a lot of like the Buffalo game was a perfect example. They do a great job. It's not fun to watch. This Eagles.
My sons both are like, Dad, this isn't
so
even
boring.
fun.
Yeah, it's boring. But they win games. They
crazy.
control games within the line of scrimmage with the clock, and it wins them ball games. But when you're going to go up against a well-tuned coach team like the Niners, you can't just rely on talent and that type of pace. It was going in their favor too. Like it was low scoring. It was physical.
It was. Man. I know, man. Well, listen, I got one. I know this. I'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
We're in football, right? Football terms here. So right now, JP starting the franchise. You're Howie Roseman of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
And you got one quarterback and one head coach. And it's got to be an active quarterback and an active head coach, even if they were fired. But right now, who are your two guys?
Head coaches right now, it is really hard to go against McVay, right? I mean, they're constantly and I mean, it's not even just about they obviously have talent, but you got to manage that talent. You're in LA, dude. There's so much to do in LA, man. It is hard. It is easy to kind of get distracted. Offense is always, even with Jared Goff, that offense was always clicking too, and it's hard not to go with him. As far as quarterback goes, that's a tough one.
It is.
I really want to go with Jalen, but I have some things with Jalen. Jalen still needs to work on some things. Right
I agree,
now. Dude. If I could put Jalen's mentality and his body type on any quarterback, I would do it, man. Because he's got that it factor, man. I know, and that's why they won the Super Bowl last year.
I know. It's tough.
You can't go. I can't go Mahomes anymore.
No,
not at this age, man. To say, man, that Drake May up there.
Oh, we were just talking about that at the barbershop today. That dude's legit.
It pisses me off though, because why is Boston good again? Why is the New England Patriots still good?
Like, look, I get that they don't have. I'm not going to say Drake May is Brady. However, it's today's version right now. Like, think about it. It's crazy.
The best quarterback in the sports history, and then it takes you 4 years to find his replacement. These people are spoiled. They went through 2 decades of great football, and they have 2 years of bad football. Come on, it pisses me off to no end, man. Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to not go with Drake May right now.
I like that.
There's a lot of quarterbacks though right now in the NFL. I'm thinking of even the guys in the NFC North who have a lot of intangibles, but they don't have it all together.
No,
they don't have it up here.
No.
And it's so crazy because Jalen has
all of that.
You know, my main gripe with Jalen is still to this day is reading the field. I still don't feel like he reads the field quick enough.
I wonder why. Why do you think that is?
I don't know if it's.
I don't feel like he can't do it. I just feel like for some reason, it's blocked.
It's not like he's Mike Victor when the tape's in the back. Of
the car, it's crazy. Like I don't know what it is.
It's just. I really cannot tell exactly what it is. And the thing is that, throughout this year, one thing that pissed me off is if the offense is stalling, right? But you are able to just throw up a ball at AJ and get a first down, right? Why is there no play calls to set up a receiver? There was none of that this year.
No, really
You're going to AJ. Okay. Dotson's got to be wide. Dotson's been wide open for 2 years. Let's be real.
I know.
Devontae's been open at times, even Dallas Goedert. There has been no type of game plan to get the ball to those guys.
It's really maddening when you think about it because, like you said, he has it. And I think maybe a little bit of me says he's so worried. He doesn't want to make mistakes. He doesn't want to turn the ball over. But I feel like he sticks on that one route and he just wants it to work so bad that by the time it's too late. But this year he didn't run. There's a lot. But I agree with you with May. I love May. I love McVay, but I'm gonna flip it with you a little bit. For me, I'm gonna go Vrabel and Josh Allen. I love Mike Vrabel. I think, and as much as I'm in love with two guys, Shanahan and McVay. However, Vrabel to me is such a player's coach and a modern day player's coach that can come in and be like, I'm not that far removed from the field.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Hard Knocks videos with him on, what he would do with some of his players. Like, wow, this dude, he's the first in the locker room. He's a no nonsense guy. He gets the respect, and he's kind of like a quarterback whisperer, bro. Dude. If people forget, when he was in Tennessee, he rejuvenated Ryan Tannehill.
Bro, they went to an AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill. Right? That's all you got to know right there. You're right. You're right.
He made Tannehill look good again.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the guy I want.
It wasn't a sexy offense.
No.
He ran the ball.
Derrick Henry friggin' worked.
Threw it up to AJ. Oh, that's crazy.
And what did he say? I'm gonna go get my offensive guru and Josh McDaniels, guy he shouldn't be a head coach. He just needs to be a play caller.
That's all he can really.
That's just call the plays, bro. And that's what he's done this year.
That's all he can really do, man.
It's great.
It's crazy how good he is. I didn't really think he would be that great of a coach, but going to New England, taking them to the AFC Championship game in 1 year is what exemplified me that he is one of the best in this current day and age of the NFL, man.
He is, man.
Josh Allen, that's upsetting, man. Dude can't get it done.
I feel bad for him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know I just dropped a video about that today. Like I feel like he has a little McNabb in him, meaning he's got nobody. It's Buffalo has said, go out and just do it. Where McNabb for years was like, Donovan, just do it with trash on the out. Doesn't matter. Just go do it. And I think that's the same thing with Josh Allen. It's tough.
Well, I don't know if you saw the report. I think I saw today was McDermott a couple of weeks before that divisional game. He went to the front office. He's like, I don't think this roster can win the Super Bowl. That's not what you want to hear from your head coach.
No, it's
in the middle of the season.
That's not what you want.
Make it for a Super Bowl push.
I mean, and I'm not a McDermott guy.
I'm not either.
All because of the tush push thing. What a fraud.
Tush push the 9/11 comments.
That's not.
He's kind of an idiot,
He really is. And you know what? I don't ever want people to lose their job, but I wasn't crying over it. Put it that way.
I don't think anyone in Buffalo is either.
Yeah, I wasn't crying over it. And I'll be curious if he gets a head coaching job. I think he may have to be a coordinator again.
You think he would want to? You think he'd do it though?
I think he would.
Because I feel like once you're a coach for a decade, you got kind of have that little high horse.
You do, but I think it's also a money thing too.
Right? Who was going to want to get him?
I think somebody will bring him in as a DC.
Yeah, I would definitely.
But not as a head coach. I don't think he'll get many offers. I mean, there's a lot of openings though. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know, man.
He was my top choice, I think, in 2016, that Doug Peterson round.
Really?
He was, because I didn't like the way we handled it at his end here in Philly as a defensive coordinator. I think he got scapegoated.
Yeah, he did.
I also was super, super surprised and in awe what he did with that Panthers defense.
People forget about the Panthers.
Yeah. There was a lot of guys on that defense. There's undrafted guys like Josh Foreman, right?
Yep.
He's the prime example.
Yep.
He's getting the most out of Thomas Davis at his old age.
Thomas Davis.
Yeah, dude.
What a linebacker.
Converted safety to linebacker. Yeah.
What a linebacker, bro.
He was really, really good at that time. And that's why I really wanted him. And then when Doug Peterson, I was like, who the hell is Doug? I think there's a YouTube clip of me.
Who the hell is Doug Peterson? Dougie P.
There was a YouTube clip of me back in the day. When they hired him, I was like, Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson. See, the old school guys remember when they brought in Doug to be the first quarterback and Andy Reid.
Yeah,
he sucked. We all knew he sucked. He was only here as a placement guy. You know what I mean?
Did he get Don Shula's 100th win too?
Oh, I don't know.
Some crazy.
All I know is I can't believe that dude's got a statue. Just throwing it out there. I cannot believe he's got a statue.
He's got a statue.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget. I say this all the time, and I know listen, Doug has some really good PR around his Philly decision, because I am telling you, anybody with a brain can watch that video and they know that dude had no clue if he should call it or not. Okay. Come on, man. And he's sitting up there on his TV going, now he's going, well, yeah, I thought about. No, you didn't. You had no idea. You had no clue. That's who you are. That's who Doug Peterson is. And he went to Jackson when he sucked.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, no offense. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I know. And players love him, but
I think he'd be great in college right now.
You know what? That's a good point.
He knows how to run an NFL franchise. I think he's got this thing with players. He knows how to connect with players. I think that's really why it worked well in Philly.
Yeah,
And
he does have a connection.
I think the college game would really work well. Here, I want to ask you one more question.
Yeah,
here.
man, go ahead, shoot.
This city right now, it's obviously about the Eagles, but this Phillies team right now.
Oh man.
So I guess my question is this team making the playoffs next year? It's a valid question. When I look at it,
very valid.
Atlanta, everyone probably predicts them to win a division. But like, do we really know that?
No.
Like yes, we know the players that they have there. They had a good offseason too. But like, can they really bounce back? The Mets will be there, but we know it's the Mets, at the end of the day.
You never know with the Mets.
I'm as fatigued with this current Phillies iteration as the next fan, but like, it's not outlandish to think that they can make the playoffs, but I'm just right now, with my feeling, don't feel too hot about it.
I don't feel hot at all. Right. It's funny. We talked about it again at the barbershop today.
Got it, man.
And barbershop is the best time to talk.
It's therapy.
Right?
It's free therapy.
It's therapy.
Well, not free,
man.
but
well, usually my son cuts my, so basically so my son is an aspiring barber. He's halfway through barber school right now. So he'll cut my hair every 3 weeks. Or what? He'll cut my hair. I get my hair cut every 3 weeks. So cut my hair 3 weeks, and then I'll go to my barber for 3 weeks. And he'll go. So because what happens is my barber will be like, oh yeah, like maybe he did this, and then it's like good therapy for him, right? Good training for him. So we were in there today, and I didn't want to re-sign Schwarber, and I was on the end, and everyone's like, "You out of your mind?" Listen. Sometimes you have to cut your losses and just say it's just not going to work. Right. And, I was in the 90s and I watched the Atlanta Braves consistently win pennant after pennant after pennant, but never win the big deal, never win the big dance. And eventually you got to say to yourself, okay. So I said this because they were arguing back and forth and they were like, dude, there's no way. Shout out Adam, cuts my hair. He's a huge Phillies guy. And he's like, how would you not want JT? Blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, let me ask you something. So what are the odds that Kyle Schwarber ever tops what he did last year? What are the odds that Trey Turner has a better year offensively than he had last year? What are the odds that Zach Wheeler comes back and has a better campaign than he did? And now you got questions everywhere. I don't know what Painter is going to do. At least I know I can rely on Ranger Suarez to give me a solid outing. I don't know what Noel is going to be. JT is 35 years old, bro. And you know what? Here's what people, I love it. People just JT. JT had literally the same batting average as Victor Caratini. He had the same amount of home runs as Victor Caratini. The only difference is Caratini, had 92 hits and JT had 123. Now, I get that the defensive thing you're never going to get anywhere else. I understand that. But that still hasn't gotten us to the World Series, the winning a World Series. So, listen, bro, I am so lukewarm on the Phillies right now because to hear Dombrowski again say we like what we have, and I'll end my take on this. Go back to what we were talking about, how sports radio stations have kind of started to wake up to modern day media. Well, the Phillies are still an old school contractual language. And if they don't wake up, whether they want to pay people or not, guess what? Good luck. You're going to win 85, 88 wins. Okay. That's not good enough for me.
And you know what the thing is that like, I regardless, I don't feel the Phillies I don't think anyone's beating the Dodgers. Like, and the thing is that,
yeah, exactly.
What's frustrating is that these decisions all should have been made after you lost to the Mets 2 years ago. Like, this lineup should have been tinkered after you lost to the Mets. I'm just like baffled over, like, you're telling me, like, I get Nick Castellanos is a defensive liability. I know that once he sees a sinker, like, he's seeing, stars and rainbows and everything.
I like Casty, bro.
You're telling me he's got no value. I understand the contract, but this dude has shown up in clutch moments. He still has a bat.
I know.
And you're telling me you can't get him out of here?
Why? Because you know why? Because they killed all his value they basically were coming out saying, we're not bringing him back. I mean, that's the crazy part. They killed everything. it is so. I went into last year saying I'm out. I was so pissed off. And I said, I'm out in the Phillies with the Mets thing. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I was killed with the Arizona series. And then we go to the Mets. And I'm like, I'm out. And then they suckered me back in like mid-August. And now I'm double pissed because I'm like, you screwed me when I didn't want to be screwed. So now I'm out. Like, I can't get excited.
And now they're just like thinking like everyone's just dumb. I think I saw Topper today say like the rosters change like 25%.
20. What is he talking about?
Like what, you're bringing up Crawford and
Otto Kemp.
Otto Kemp. They're trying to sell this city on Otto Kemp, dude.
Championship chip. That they are the words that they championship chip. Otto Kemp. Yo, Otto Kemp better hit 30 home runs this year. Talk if he's a championship chip.
Most improved player. I need to see all of that from him.
And sorry, Otto, I'm not mad. Like, this dude played on a busted kneecap, so he's a tough dude, right? But come on, man. Like,
I don't know what Alec Boehm I'm gonna get. I don't know what Bryson Stott I'm gonna get. I don't even know what Trey Turner I'm gonna actually get this year.
I know.
And the one thing you really could hang your hat on was the pitching rotation. Now you just lost Ranger Suarez to the Red Sox, and now I got to rely on Wheeler bouncing back after an injury. You know, Aaron Nola seems like he's declining. You know, Christopher Sanchez is like the one bright spot, which I never thought he would be, but he's here. And then you brought up Painter. Like, this team is,
and you brought back Luzardo on a 1 year.
That's deal. Right. Oh, my boy Luzardo.
But I love Luzardo. However, is he going to be like? He's still a question mark. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not like we've seen Luzardo do this 5 years in a row. Like, he's still a question mark. We have more question marks this year than we've ever had.
It's so crazy, dude. Who would have thought that we would lose to the Diamondbacks? That was really it. That was really it.
That was. To me, that was the year that we lost everything, just like the Sixers lost everything a year with the double bounce in Toronto. Like that, there's years, like if you don't do it when it's lined up for you, you're never going to do it. The Phillies did it in 08. That shit was lined up for them. That Tampa team sucked. That whole stretch, it was lined up for them to do it. And they took advantage of it. Because if not, guess what? Look what happened in 09.
Yeah. You ran into the Yankees were back at that point.
Hideki, Matsui, and Jorge Posada. That's all I got to say. I have nightmares, bro. Nightmares.
Dude, it is not. This month has been tough to be. And the thing is, too, like, I need the Phillies to be good because the MLS did this BS where they changed the whole scheduling, and I might not even have the union in the summer. So I have to rely on the Phillies.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely terrible. I don't have a goaltender now with the Flyers. I don't even know what to think with the Sixers. Like, they're playing well. I'm not gonna kill them too much, but
Sixers, listen, I'm excited about the Sixers. Yeah, listen, I'm not talking about trophies. They're an exciting product.
That backcourt is so good, dude. Oh, so much fun to watch.
Maxey, Edgecombe, and Maxey's just, man, like he's just solidified what it means to be a true athlete in this town.
Yeah,
you know, good kid. I go down. His mom and dad are at every game. Like this is who you want, man. Like if you're raised a kid to be a bad. That's the guy. Like we looked at guys like Chase Utley, and you know, and it's always like, look. Tyrese Maxey's that dude. Yeah. Like that's who you want to look at. Tyrese Maxey.
And it helps he's got the corner. I was like, hey, man.
Oh man, I love it.
He's got it all.
I love it. He's got it all, man. He's got it all. And now he's an all-star. He says the right things, man. I love it.
Just get Joel to 75%, man.
I love it. Bro, this was awesome.
It was a lot of fun, Tom.
We went strong, bro. Yeah, like hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. But listen, a lot of good stuff, man. I appreciate you telling your story, man. As always, brother. Yo. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, you're always welcome back.
Yeah, dude. I gotta come back, dude.
And I'm looking forward to the new JP, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I think that where, you know, honestly, Pablo Torre really has done something in me.
Okay.
Journalism has always captivated me, and it's something that I really want to kind of get deeply into. And working at PHLY, having Zach Berman and Kyle Newbeck and Charlie O'Connor, you know, even you know, just everyone that we had there, just Salisbury Steaks, man. It was such great, like, people to just kind of like pick their brains.
Yep.
And it's always something that fascinated me that I kind of want to put it together and take it to the next level. So
Oh, man.
we'll see. Keep an eye out. Make sure you guys follow.
Bro. And you know, man, you got to support me. You need anything, you know, whatever I can give, bro.
I appreciate it, brother.
100%, man.
It's always fun, man. Coming to Casa de Tone.
Yo, man, this is the first 101, and you know, this is probably most of my for the Tony Cutillo show. You're the first guest ever live, like on Fighting for Overtime, my youth sports podcast. I have people here a lot, but you know, never had anybody. You're the first, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Oh man, we had to make this work, bro.
Absolutely,
make this work. So again, man, JP Zapata. Go ahead. Tell them where to find you again.
I am El Parcero Philly. El Parcero Parcero Philly. You can find me on every platform. We'll be back on TikTok soon too, man.
And he'll be tagged in the description. So everybody, like I always say, man, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you back here next time.